It's day 93, if you could believe it. The wire! It's getting closer. We're getting down to it. We're getting down to the close wire. I'm out in my garage. You can see there's a lot of junk in here. It's definitely gotten fuller. But I'm primarily focusing on this, the headshots and other prints I might be bringing to the show that I'm leaving for Friday. It's Wednesday, and as I said, I want to get most of this done today as opposed to leaving it till Thursday and then, possibly running into problems. So one of the things I did, this is a Power Ranger specific show, Power Morphicon Express. This will be the third Power Ranger specific show I've done. I previously did Power Morphicon proper and Ranger Stop, and that was in California and Florida last year. This is in Texas. It is run by the same person that ran Power Morphicon proper. And what I did was, forgetting about money, forgetting about deals, forgetting about anything else, I was like, what did I sell? How many did I sell of each? And so I went through, because I struggle with local shows, I kind of just bring everything. But with these shows that I go far away to, I struggle with what to bring because A, it's just hard and difficult to bring so much stuff, but B, there's weight limits on my bags, and if I go over it, I have to pay. I have limited table space, things like that. So the less I could bring, the better. But I always worry, oh, I'm only going to bring 2 copies of this print, and I'm going to sell 5 or 10, and I'll miss out on those sales, or I won't bring these things, and then that's what everyone's going to want. So looking at what I had, the Power Morphicon, I literally sold nothing but Power Rangers art. Not one piece of a Godzilla art, not one little side ancillary thing. All Power Rangers and all headshots, no 11x17s. I did sell pins as well. At both of them, I sold about 100 pins each, which I always say, it's like, oh, they're $1 each, but that adds up if you sell 100 of them. So I'll definitely be bringing some pins, which is unfortunate because pins are one of the heaviest things I could bring, but I know I'm going to make money doing that. So the first one, I only sold these small headshot size. The other one, I still mostly sold these, but I did sell a few of the larger ones of some of the Zords and a few Godzilla pieces and things like that. So I kind of crunched the numbers and figured out that, I'm going to put this down. So I crunched the numbers. Hi. So I crunched the numbers and I figured out that not only did I sell very little of non-Power Ranger stuff between the 2 conventions, I sold, I think, 1 or 2 comics total at both conventions. So I'm not bringing in comics. It's a lot of weight. They don't do anything. Yes, I want to promote my comic, but I don't think this is the venue to do it. So I'm just not going to bring any. I'll bring some sketch covers because I did sell a few sketch covers that I'd done Power Rangers art on. But this is the thing that I struggle with a lot with my Godzilla stuff, with my Power Ranger stuff, all my fan art basically, where I'll hit a genre where people are like, oh, they like my Transformers drawings, they like my Godzilla drawings, and I like these things too, so okay, I'll pursue that. And inevitably, other than like, Optimus Prime and Tommy the Green Ranger and Godzilla, people want other things, but nobody agrees on those other things. And I often will say, hey, what do I not have that you'd want? And I make a little list, and I'll have 10 different things from 10 different people. So it's hard to reach consensus. And that bears out in the data because between both shows, there isn't one single character or print that I sold more than 2 or 3 of, with very few exceptions. One of them being Tommy the Green Ranger. He sells consistently well, but even he sold 5 or 9, and because he has like 5 different helmets, so each individual one, overall his character has sold the most, but maybe I sold like 8 Green Ranger and 2 White and 1 Zeo, so what I'm gonna try to do is I'm not gonna bring more than 5 of anybody, which seems nuts to me because, well, not of anybody. I'm going to start with 5 of everybody, which should be more than enough. Because between both conventions, I never sold more than 3 of most people. So if I bring 5, that's 2 more than I'm likely to sell at the most. Now, of course, I'm hoping this is going to go crazy. I'm going to sell way more than I ever did and be like, oh, I wish I had more inventory. But I always say that and it's never happened. I've never run out of inventory other than pins. So I'm going to do that. Now, with Tommy, he's going to be there. The actor that played Tommy, Jason David Frank, is going to be there. And I think I sold, something like 10 or whatever. So I'm going to bring 20. I'm going to bring maybe 21. And also the other actors that are there, I'm going to bring 10 each of. I probably won't need that because even actors that have been at shows I've been at, I didn't necessarily need that many. But I'm going to play it safe on those. But all the rest, I'm just going to bring 5 each of, which is still more than I should need. Then when it comes to secondary stuff like Transformers, Ninja Turtles, things like that I'm not really promoting, I'll maybe bring 2 of each, 3 at the most if it's something I think will sell. And similar with Godzilla prints, maybe I'll bring 5 of each, maybe less. I'm going to see what the weight's like. That's kind of my goal. And if I meet weight, then that's how much I have. And if not, I'll cut back even further. The only other exception is sets, headshot sets. I have a set of the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, the entire team. I have Super Mega Force, the entire team. I've recently done Turbo and Zeo. So those, and I have a Tommy set. So those sets tend to do well also. So yeah, but I'm gonna be bringing way less. I gotta get to work. I'm gonna do that. I think I've made my point, and we'll talk again later. Hey, here I am in the car. Wrong alignment. I'm chaotic evil when I should be true neutral. No, what? It's 7 o'clock, so a little after 7. I worked in the garage for about 3 hours, mainly. I've talked about this before, but after shows, it's just a mess. I'm exhausted and I leave it. And it's a case where before a show, I have to kind of clean up from the last show. So certain prints I had like, oh, here's some in a bag, here's some that have been boarded, here's random ones. So a lot of it was just sorting into piles of like prints. Then it was counting the ones I was gonna bring, and I started packing. And I made a lot of progress. I'm not done. I spent about 3 hours getting ready, still not done. And my back was starting to hurt. Not that I have back problems, but just from like bending over and just awkward positions. And so I needed to take a break to go to Target and pick up some food for Q and me. And I forgot my wallet, so I couldn't do the Target stuff I needed to do. But luckily I had a $20 bill in my pocket from the other day for some reason, so I could still pick up some takeout on the way home. And I was thinking like, okay, after I eat, I got to get back to work in the garage, but it's starting to get dark and I still got to do like 30 minutes. And I'm like, oh man. And I'm like, well, I'll check what time my flight is tomorrow and see how many hours I have tomorrow, and that'll determine how late I have to stay up tonight. And then I realized, wait a minute, I'm not leaving tomorrow. Tomorrow's Thursday. I did this today on Wednesday in case it took longer or things went wrong. I'd still have Thursday. So it worked, but I forgot. So good job, past Gaz, helping out present Gaz. Present Gaz might give future Gaz some work to do. So yeah. Back in the garage, it's 9:20. You can see I have some filled, well, you can see there, I have some filled Tupperware. It's nice to know that I didn't have to sweat, like, because I had the extra time, but I'm mostly done. I went and did some artwork after dinner, not werewolf stuff, so it was client stuff, not worth showing you. But I basically cut down the number of prints, and previously I had 2 of these, and then this plus 1 or 2 more, like, wide ones like this. So I have 3 small ones. This stuff will go in my backpack. That's my setup that I bring as a carry-on. And I'll put all of that into these 2 suitcases, which I've done before, but hopefully they'll be lighter. These also roll, so they serve as a hand cart. I actually bring these to the show. And I also pack around the Tupperware with my clothing. So that's how I pack that. You may have seen it before. So tomorrow I'll need to weigh these and then put some clothes in them, but otherwise I'm done. And that shouldn't take me too long. So I'm done with this for now. I'm going to go inside and work on werewolves. Yes. Did my usual somewhere between 30 and 60. Finished the panel that I started the other day. Again, more needs to be done, but I have to prioritize, and I kind of turbo boost that I then had to stop and divert to other things, which I will be going back to probably after I get back from the convention. It's day 94. I'm Gazbot, as usual. And tomorrow I'm leaving for Texas. So today I'm finishing up what I started yesterday with Tupperware. Now, I got my prints for the show delivered today. I actually didn't really check them. I took them out of the box and they were like shrink wrapped, which is kind of good for shipping. So I left them that way. And it occurs to me I could be missing some. There could be some misprints. But there's nothing I could do about it because there's no way they could print it and ship it to me in time for the show. So I'm just taking what I got and go. So what I've done, I actually added 1 more of these small Tupperware. And I was worried about weight, so I literally just get a bathroom scale. Actually, if you look out here, sitting on the ground right there, found a flat area, and then I put each of these Tupperwares on it. And if you notice, I labeled them. So this is 44 pounds, 8, 15 and a half, 11, 9, etc. I have my 2 suitcases, which according to Southwest have to be 50 pounds or under. So for example, this is going to basically be by itself, and I'll just put some paper to stuff around it, maybe a couple t-shirts. And then these are going to fill up the next one. So I am going to be able to have that 4th one. And then I'll see if I can fit any of these other smaller things. Otherwise, that'll go in my backpack, which they don't actually check the weight for. So in the past, I've had like 30 pounds worth of stuff in my backpack, which isn't fun to carry around, but I could do it if need be. So I'm pretty close to being ready. I'm going to put all this stuff together and then bring down some clothes, and then I'll be done with this and continue on with the rest of my day. So the big box that was 44 pounds that I put in there, I added this, which is just some clips, and this little thing, and then some bubble wrap. And it went to 56, so it added about 10, 12 pounds. So I took out the clips, I took out this. I also took out this box of pins, and it's still a few pounds over. I think it's like 52 now. And I don't want to be exactly at 50 either, because if they're measurements are different at the airport, then I'm gonna have to figure something out in the middle of the airport. I never weighed the actual suitcase. I don't know what that weighs. I wonder if the other one weighs a little less, because this one's a little heavier duty. I don't know, I gotta take some more stuff out. All right, well, I took out some more stuff, including like this and several prints. I had 8x8 Godzilla head prints, and I took out one of each of those, as well as one board and bag for each of those, and some of my Ninja Turtles. I had 3, I cut them down to 2. Brought it down to like 49.7. So I'm right on the line. What I'm hoping for, I would prefer to go down a little more, but I don't want to keep repacking it a million times. And as much as it'll suck if I have to deal with it at the airport, I'm going to take my chances, because if it comes up 49.7, I'm good. If it comes up 50, I'm good. If it comes up 50.1 or 2, they'll probably let me slide. If it comes up 51 or 52, well, then I'm going to have to repack, but I'll get there early. Bag, just adding up, if the actual suitcase is 10 pounds, it was going to be over 50 pounds. So I got rid of the 4th case and condensed it. I did have to open up my print order, but I realized that there was more in there that I needed to bring. So I got rid of a lot of that. I had some Transformers prints that I had 3 each of. I got rid of that, so there's only 2 each. I also got rid of some original art that wasn't specifically Power Rangers. And now it should be about 47 pounds-ish. I'm going to go get some shirts and clothes that I need. Luckily, it's only a 3-day trip. 3-day trip, but I'm leaving Friday, so I'll have clothes on. And I might be a little, like, stinky or whatever when I get there, but I'm not doing anything. I'm just going to be in my hotel room, take a shower, so I don't need to bring another change of clothes. Then I need a fresh change of clothes for Saturday and for Sunday. And then again, Sunday, by the end of the show, I might not be super fresh, but I'm going to be going home. Maybe I should bring another t-shirt just for the people on the plane. So, point is, I need two actual full outfits of clothes and maybe 1 extra shirt. And the way I am with like shorts and pants and stuff is I'll usually wear 1 pair of shorts for a few days in a row. So I probably will just put on a fresh pair of shorts in the morning tomorrow. And yeah, so you get it. All right, got the second one all loaded, 49.8. So as I said, they're both much closer to 50 than I would like, but I gotta be done. Look who's hanging out in my car, little birdo. What's up? Jet black, white eyes, little chirp chop. You want some of my diet, right? Nope, oh, they don't like diet cereal. It's soda, not cereal. Yeah, soda. It's about 10:30 at night. As I was saying, it's about 10:30 at night. I'm in pretty good shape. Everything is all packed up, ready to go. My backpack's set. I'm not sure if I could bring my coat picks or not. I might have to just bring gray. I've had to go out to the store a few times, do some other household errand type things, but again, in good shape. I did 24 of my 30 minutes, and then I had to stop. See, I was inking this panel, and I'm gonna put in the last couple minutes to finish that up. And I was thinking, if possible, I was worried about what I was going to do while I'm away. And I'm going to import, I'm working on page 3, but I'm going to import page 4 to my iPad Pro, which has Procreate on it, which can open PSD files. So that is what I'll have to work on. I will still keep working on the werewolf story just to keep it consistent. But I realized that tomorrow, I'm not leaving until like 1 or 2. So if I do it right, I could maybe do the 30 minutes before I leave. Although as I'm saying it, I'm gonna have like 3 hours, 4 hours on the plane, so I could do it there. But potentially I could do the work here. Similarly on Sunday, if things get crazy and I don't work on it for some reason on the plane, I can do the 30 minutes at home. So there's only 1 day when I actually technically can't work on it at home, and that'll be Saturday, but I'll have my iPad with me. But for today, I'm gonna do my time, finish it up, and then move on to other things. I need to shave and shower, and I'm thinking about a haircut too, possibly. And done. It seems silly. It was actually more like almost 7 minutes, but it still seems silly I did my 7 minutes, but I just don't have extra time to spare, but I don't want to, fudge it on the challenge, so literally 30 minutes is what I did, and yeah, I'm following the letter of the law, if not the spirit, although it's kind of one and the same in this challenge. I don't know, I did my 30 minutes. I basically inked most of this figure. It took a little longer. I don't know, it was coming out easier than some other things I've done, but it was just taking longer, I guess, because of the level of detail and stuff. But yeah, happy? It's day 95. It's about 12:30-ish. My plane leaves at 4. I got to get to the airport by 2. Got to leave by 1:30. Got to stop at the post office on the way to drop off a piece of client work. Q's going to drive me, so that's nice. I don't have to get an Uber. Got a nice haircut for the show, shaved as well. And what's funny is when I bleached my hair, I didn't do a great job. And so when I cut it, you would think it would either be blonde or it would be brown underneath, but it sort of has this like panda cheetah pattern kind of going on, which I don't mind at all. It's kind of cool. It'd be difficult to have done that on purpose. I haven't done my 30 minutes. I probably could have done it, but I'm going to have a lot of time on the plane, so I'll do it there. And I was able to get my pages onto my iPad. They were a little heavy, so I had to flatten some layers and stuff, but yeah, so I'll be doing that on the plane most likely. And yeah. I'm at the airport. The bags were 49.5 pounds each, perfect. And there's barely any lines, so things are looking good. Just after 2, and I'm seconds from my gate. The good news is that it was not crowded. They didn't, every time I've come through with this bag with the poles and stuff for my setup and boxes of pins in my bag, they've had to check it. Didn't have to check it. Everything was fine. It went as smooth as it could go, smoother than usual because there was like nobody in front of me on any line, which is all great, but that means that now I have basically 2 hours to kill, which I didn't expect. And I suspect I'm gonna fill that 2 hours eating and or drinking something that I don't necessarily need. A, because I don't need to spend the money, and B, because I had breakfast and I was thinking, oh, I'll eat something on the plane, give me something to do there, but I don't know. I'm feeling like something might get bought and eaten. There's some birds. Can you see them? Birds. Nobody. It's like less than half full. This never happens when I'm late in the boarding process. I was early B, which meant I would have had a window seat anyway, but this would have been awesome if I had had like C50 or whatever. If I wanted to, I could lay down. Well, I don't know if they'd let me lay down. Maybe once we're in flight. I'm not gonna lay down, but I could. Anyway, we're taking off. Shot, I felt awkward talking because it seemed like a lot of people were sleeping, but it was a weird thing where I was drawing and I was listening to comedy specials while I was drawing, and then I looked up and it was like nighttime and all the lights were off and it felt like I went through some other dimension. Part of that is because I was going against the clock because it's 7:30 my time. I just got into Houston and it's 9:30, so in addition to not paying attention, I was flying across time zones. But I don't know, it's just weird. I've done this before, like it seems like everyone's asleep or in their own little world, and I have just this glowing art box in front of me. I don't know, it feels surreal because I forget I'm on the plane, I forget what's going on, I'm just drawing, listening to my special, and then suddenly someone's like, sir, do you want water? And I'm like, bah. Anyway, now I'm in Houston, and I'm thinking about how tomorrow, I'm gonna have a hard time tomorrow because I can't set up tonight. I could have, but I found out after the fact that I could set up until 7, and it's too late now, and I couldn't change my flight by the time I found out. So I can set up tomorrow. It opens at 9, so I have to be ready by 9. I can start setting up as early as 6. I'm gonna need at least 2 hours to do it properly because I don't even know where I'm going. So I'm gonna have to get up at 6 and whatever. So I should try to get to bed early, but as we know, I don't normally go to bed early, and I'm on a 2-hour differential. So like midnight here for me is like 10 p.m. So I'm not gonna get a lot of sleep tonight. Right now I'm gonna get my bags. The other thing is, I think I've been in this airport before, even though I've never been to Texas. I mean, I guess I have been to Texas. I've never traveled to Texas, but I think I've come through here on my way somewhere else because it seems familiar. So I'm all checked in. It's a little weird. I was gonna say I've never stayed at an Airbnb before, but that's not true. I did stay at it once with my buddy Mike. He was in town for a convention in San Francisco, and I stayed at it with him, but it was like an apartment that the people were not in, and we were in it, just me and him. This is run a little differently, where it's almost like a mini hotel, because there's like 4 or 5 rooms, and there's the guy, I thought he was the owner, but maybe he's just like the caretaker who kind of, you know, shows us around and stuff. And there was at least one other person staying there that I didn't talk to, that was just in the room during their thing. And then there's a woman there who I won't name. Actually, I was about to say her name, but she might not want that. And she is going to Morphicon Express as well. She is going as a guest, but she's like, oh, maybe we could carpool or whatever, which sounds great because I got big bags and don't want to pay a lift fee, but I need to go in super early. So I was like, well, if you want to go in super early, and she's like, well, I know people, and she knows the guy who runs it, and so I might end up catching a ride in with her tomorrow, which is awesome. For a couple of reasons. Well, A, it'll save me a few bucks and make my life easier, and B, it's somebody, you know, I talked to tonight a little bit when I thought I'd have nobody to talk to other than maybe giving Q a call. And you know, maybe tomorrow throughout the show, if she has nobody to talk to, she'll come and talk to me. I don't know, but it's nice to know somebody other than Scott and potentially Brendan Mejia, if he remembers me. So What am I doing now? Well, I got in really early, as I said, and everything's been going well. So this is the part where I'm gonna get shot because I'm walking through this neighborhood. It's hot. Now that it's nighttime and windy, it's not as bad, but when I got off the plane, it was super hot, and I did not like that. So I'm glad I'm gonna be inside mostly tomorrow. But I'm a little hungry. I'm not starving, but again, it's 10:30. Ooh, I think there's frogs in there. And I won't be able to go to sleep anytime soon, and I'm probably gonna be hungry later. So I'm going out to, there's a Walmart about a mile or so away. I'm gonna go get some mints for tomorrow. Maybe I could get some cash, because I said I'm a little bit cash poor right now, and other things that I may have forgotten. But yeah, it's just so weird being in this house and just walking down a suburban neighborhood. Like, it's not even like, oh, I'm like, in that time it was in the city, so it made sense. But like everybody around here is just like other people. Like, there's people playing poker in their garage with the door open. There's somebody out like looking at his motorcycle. It's just like, oh, I live here now. There's my street in Texas I live on for 3 days. It's just unusual. I've never experienced it. I like it. I like new things. I like experiencing new things. So this is good. But now I'm gonna walk, 30 minutes or so to Walmart and hopefully not get shot. Oh, I should have brought my backpack. I'm such an idiot. I'm such an idiot. It's not that far back, but this is how my laziness works. I may have talked about this before. Rather than walk back 5 minutes and like add 10 minutes overall walking, I'd rather keep going and then spend a half hour carrying things back without a backpack, which is probably harder. But the idea of backtracking and redoing something sounds so much worse to me. So anyway, I don't want to keep wasting my battery because if I get lost, I won't know where I am. Waffle House, I didn't realize how close it was. Waffle House kind of became my go-to when I did Ranger Stop. But it's late, I didn't want to have anything quite that heavy. I didn't want to sit down and eat. I wanted to bring it back to the room. McDonald's, no good. Jack in the Box, heavier than even Waffle House. Wendy's is what I was gonna do, but only the drive-thru's open, and they won't let you do that if you don't have a drive. Looks like it's gonna be Jack in the Bobo. Jack in the Bobo. I was gonna show the exterior of the house I'm staying at. It's dark. It's darker in the video, but just to give you an idea as I pan around, it's just like a neighborhood. Just a neighborhood. Very flat land around here. When I was walking around, it's just like there's a building and then nothing behind it for miles. So it's 2:30 a.m. here, which means it's 12:30 home. And I'm awake, which isn't good because I should be getting up in about less than 4 hours. Yeah. I actually kind of fell asleep because I was feeling a little tired from the day, and I actually I was asleep for 5 minutes, 1 minute, 10 minutes, whatever. And something woke me up, and I thought it was, my phone was on silent, but I thought it was like vibrating on the table, and it wasn't. And somewhere in this house that I'm staying in, everybody's asleep, but there's somebody having a conversation for over an hour. And they're not being crazy loud and yelling where I can complain, but it's just this steady. And because it's intermittent, I can't quite tune it out either. So once it woke me up, I've been awake. Now, part of the problem is that I wasn't that tired to begin with because this is not what I'd normally be asleep, but it's not helping. Yeah.